big school in a southern small town. Auburn is home to about 25,000 college students, a beautiful large campus, a downtown scene full of bars and restaurants, and this weekend, it'll be home to about 90,000 Auburn football fans. Athletics is a huge part of the culture of this town. The recent Final Four basketball team and big-time football teams get most of the attention around here, and rightfully so. But before we pack into Jordan Hare this weekend for the game, we're here to take a deep dive into one of the best college golf programs in the country. Led by Coach Nick Clinard for the past 13 years, this program has been steadily collecting trophies and churning out tour-level talent. Tom Crow and I are here to find out what makes this place so special. Welcome to Auburn. So what's your name? What year are you and where are you from?
John Marshall Butler. I'm a sophomore, and I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, Ryan Eshleman. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Sophomore, redshirt freshman, sophomore, whatever you want to say.
Alex Vogelsong, Jupiter, Florida, and I'm a junior this year, so class of 2023.
Chris Williams, Moscow, Idaho, assistant coach.
Austin Coggin. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm a junior here.
Nick Clinard, head men's golf coach, Auburn University.
Go ahead and describe the whole facility that you guys have here from outside this building. Just give us the
Best in the
lowdown.
nation, maybe top 3. I'm a little biased, but what we have is hard to beat.
I don't know how many exactly yards it is, but a huge range on the front, huge range on the back.
We have 3 hitting bays with TrackMans, Sandpot Lab.
A really big short game area in the back with 3 different greens with all different grasses. Bunkers, places to pitch, hit wedge shots into.
I've had some help with Jason Duffner. He's designed one of the greens, so the closest one to the cart path is they just call it the Duffner green because he designed it.
I don't think you really comprehend how good it is until you get here, and you can take your game to the next level for sure.
Describe coaching style of Clinard.
Yeah, he's awesome. He'll do literally anything for you. I really appreciate all he's helped me out just in my year and a half so far. But just as on a personal level, he's helped me just jump a mountain.
I think we have a great mix between our 2 coaches. Coach Clinard's very, he understands the golf swing and the technical things, so if there's any questions that we have about that, he's a wealth of knowledge. And then Chris has a great background in golf himself.
Chris brings a wonderful element to what we do as far as the playing side of it. He's very non-technical. He's a player. He likes to compete. He can give them kind of what it's like on the tour because he's played in major championships, he's played in tour events, and obviously been the #1 amateur in the world as well.
So Coach is very hands-on, Coach Clinard. He's very hands-on, and he's really good about the fundamentals and the technique. And, I think that's unbelievable because he knows golf swing better than anyone.
I like to manage. Most of them have their own swing coaches, which is great, and then I like to manage it. I like that side of it. I'm a pretty analytical guy, so I like the teaching aspect.
Yeah, I think we bounce off each other pretty well, where it's more about scoring and you have a bad day, it's your swing doesn't feel that great. Most of these kids, the first thing they want to do is call their coach. And it's we can't do that on the 5th tee box, but you got to keep playing. So how are we gonna manage that and manage your game to where you can actually still play well when you're not feeling great?
How do you think your players would describe you?
That's a better probably.
Yeah, and how do you think they answer that question?
That'd be a great question. I would say probably pretty intense, pretty driven, very committed to what I do, trying to help them get better. Everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses, and I'm not perfect, but I do know that I care about my guys, and I think care is a magical word, and I'm always here for them, and they know that, and I do challenge them. But I think, coaching, in my opinion, I've developed as a coach in the fact that there's some guys you can really push, you can really challenge, and there's other guys you just got to give them a hug, tell them you love them, care about them, and that motivates them. So I think it's all personality driven. I think everybody's a little bit different in that regard. I do not believe you can coach them all the same.
So talk about what you guys are doing in practice. We saw you guys doing all the chipping games and stuff, so take us through a standard team practice.
We want to make our practice environment really competitive and make it harder than the tournament, right? So you make your practice competitive, hard, and then you go out in the tournament, it's just this is the fun part.
It feels easy, right? Yeah.
It feels easier.
Pretty much all of our team practices, we'll get a sheet with 4 or 5 different stations, and there's points at every station.
I had that. Made the first one pretty good.
So if we're putting, we'll have like a knockout putting drill where if you get through it the first time, you get like 15 points. If you get through it the second time, like 10 or 5, whatever. And same with the chipping, like we'll have a short game course set up.
It's more like based on like you beating the course, just like out on in a tournament, and I think that that's awesome. Like because it pushes you like, how can I be the best version of myself, not comparing myself, because Alex may hit it better than me, but his putting might not be as good as mine. But like you can't compare that.
Rarely do you single one kid out and say you need to do this and everyone else do that. It's because now you start creating those divisions inside a locker room. It's like, well, he thinks I'm a bad putter, you know, and everyone else is fine. Well, I think I'm a better putter than he is. So it gets kind of complicated in that sense. So it's always, how do you build that camaraderie inside that locker room? Because if they're not, you know, if they all talk behind our backs, then it's a bad situation.
We have team practice, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, and most of the guys are, I'd say all the guys actually are out here on their own time, you know, in between classes.
I know me and Carson last year went literally like 7 hours. And like it was like unbelievable. Like we just realized, we were like, oh shit, it's 7 o'clock.
We've been here since noon.
Yeah, we've been here since noon. Like
They're very competitive by nature, so we're always trying to compete. Yeah, let them go in the equipment room and they can pick out something.
Pick out something
Yeah,
nice.
they like that. Check out this bad boy. Uh-huh.
That's pretty
That
special.
is fantastic.
This is what they wear after they win practice.
Pop it on for us.
Huh? Or you can be like Ric Flair, the nature boy. The nature boy.
Don't get the beer.
He's limousine riding, Rolex wearing,
Diamond ring wear. That's
diamond
it.
ring wearing.
And then talk to me a little about your qualifying structure. Is it set up to mimic like an actual round event?
Yeah, like we're playing USGA rules. We've had guys get DQ'd, guys get penalties for extra clubs and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, by the time you tee it up, it's a tournament. It's a tournament round, and then if we play 6 rounds, it's a 6-round tournament.
Everyone plays, and the top 6 guys, top 5 guys go. So like at the start of the year, we played 6 rounds, and the top 6 guys went in that order. You know, Evan was a freshman, first tournament, finished 5th, 1 shot ahead of CJ, who's a junior. I was like, well, you could put CJ in the lineup and put Evan as the individual, because you know, obviously don't play with 5 count 4. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's not how they qualified. You know, that's not what we told them. So it's like, if we start that off on the, you know, going away from what we told them at the start, then again, there's the locker room and everyone starts chirping. It's like, well, then what do we believe in? So this was like, wherever you guys finish, that's where you're playing.
And coach will give us like, he'll make his picks now before, if there are any coaches' picks, and if not, go shoot the scores. And I mean, it's just like a tournament. Like you just gotta go out there. You know what the job is, so go do it.
Obviously, there's a pretty solid history of guys going to the tour, guys winning here, teams winning.
You know, Blaine Barber's living out here, Dominic Bazzelli, those guys are still trying to, you know, work on getting back out there, and then Jason Duffner, obviously.
All those guys are great resources for all the guys here. I bounce a ton of thoughts off Duffner. He's been super knowledgeable.
There's Trace Crow and guys like them, they hung around for a while. Trace is good. Patton Zaire, I've spent a little time with him. Patton's, him and my dad they go way back, so Patton's been nice to me always, and he's having a great year and been playing great. So Patton, Trace, Jovan, Andrew Kozan, there's a lot of them.
You know, Nick's done a great job. I mean, he's been here 12 years, and like they've led the SEC in like the end of the year rankings, individual wins, team wins, and all conference players since 2010, 2009 when he got here.
So he's doing a pretty good job.
So yeah, I mean, you know, those trophies aren't just for sure. It's like you gotta earn that.
Oh yeah.
You gotta earn those, and they do.
So we don't really talk about winning that much. I think that's just a result. You know, obviously great golf, getting a little bit lucky, thought processes, and it's hard to win in our game. Expectation-wise, we kind of stay away from that too. I'm more into the standards, but my only expectation is you work hard, you know, you do the right thing on and off the golf course, you represent your family, represent yourself, represent the school with the most integrity in class. But the standards are what you hold yourself to on a daily basis. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you get a decision to make. Where you're going to go to class or not go to class, you're going to listen in class, take notes or not. You know, how are you going to perform in golf? You're going to have a good attitude, a bad attitude. Are you going to let external voices, external pressure, you know, bother you? So it's more about what you can control, and I think that's the standard that you got to represent every day. And I always tell the guys the standard here is never going to change. Mm-hmm. You know, we're here for certain reasons, and that's to graduate, that's ultimately to win championships. We try to stay away a little bit from the winning talk all the time.
What are your goals for the remainder of your career as an Auburn Tiger?
We believe that we can win a national championship here. The program hasn't won it in the past, and we want to be the group that changes that.
I think that's what everyone on this team establishes pretty well, is that we're all here to win and come together to win. Yeah, I mean, Coach Clinard's just in his 10-year or 12 years, he's had, some serious success with just awards and trophies and postseason stuff. So we just once you get here, it's your time to keep it rolling.
It's definitely been discussed a couple times, and that's the ultimate goal. Or SEC championships. We had one of those a few years back, and seeing that when I was back in high school, watching that on TV, that was unbelievable. And I feel like that's a goal, but that's not the ultimate goal. We got really close 2-3 years ago, and I feel like that is a goal that we can strive for, because we know it takes hard work, and that's what we do.
I mean, everyone's going to say that, but, you really mean it. I mean, everyone's going to say that too, but that's what we work for. I mean, national championship. I mean, we're missing one, and we've got the skill to do it, so, yeah.
Where do you think you've developed the most in your game or personally since you've come here?
Yeah, this is a big one for me. When I got here, I was I got sick my freshman year. Personal about me, and I had mono for 4 months, so I could not come out here. I could not go to work out, so I'd go to class or I'd sleep, and and then COVID hit. My college experience was not the best to start out. Talked to coach, and he said, you got to put in the hard work, and I said okay, and took it upon myself to do that, and my academics and everything have been changed. There's been some special people that came into my life, and those people changed me 100%, and made me strive to be that person every day, be the best version of myself.
My game is obviously developed. We have such a great facility. It's hard not to get better while you're here. But I'd say as a person, I've probably developed the most.
Yeah, you learn discipline and organization, and we're all a family. That's the Auburn thing, and it's an Auburn family.
I think the number one most important thing is culture. And if you'd asked me that 15 years ago, I just literally wouldn't have dived into that topic. Mm-hmm. But that locker room and what goes on in that locker room is the most important thing to me. I think if you have a shared vision, you have a greater purpose. I think the more connected you are as a team, the more committed you are as a team. And I think culture drives habits, and habits drive expectations. And it eventually leads to results as well. So the culture is number one.
Let's go into sort of the culture of the team. You guys all seem to be pretty decent friends. Who do you guys live with? Do you guys all live in one big house? Do you guys live all separate? What's the deal?
I'd say everyone on the team kind of lives with someone else or 2 other guys. So we're kind of spread out, but we do spend a lot of time together.
So I'm with Carson Baca. We live right next to the facility over here in the Donahue apartments, and then Alex and CJ are living together. Austin's by himself. So it's just kind of different. But we don't have a golf house where 5 or 6 guys are living there. I'd say if we're gonna hang out anywhere, it's Ryan Eshleman's and Max Johnson's place.
Nice. We'll go watch football games at Ryan has a nice house, so we'll go over there. He's got a couple big couches, so it's not rare for us.
That's the center.
That's kind of where we all go hang out. Yeah, that's the hub.
My house is the spot. Can be good and bad, but it's fun. I mean, I got a pretty nice house, and we've got 2. So the cool setup is that we're in our living room. We've got 2 65 and 75-inch TVs back to back. So we'll put on 2 different games. And,
nice.
It's fun, and I got a decent little backyard. So
your house is the golf house, right?
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
So what are you studying here at Auburn?
I was studying business, and now I'm just changed my major to kinesiology.
Okay. So if you somehow didn't make it to the PGA Tour in 5 years, what do you want to do?
I'm going to play on the PGA Tour.
Nice. Damn right.
Real estate, maybe, or I think being a club fitter would be pretty cool, or say a tour rep or something like that. My dad's he's a golf pro. He's a director of golf back at my home club.
Okay.
So that interests me a little bit, but I have big shoes to fill.
Do y'all have any team traditions?
Socially.
Team tradition.
If you can't talk about them, I get
I
it.
can't talk about
All
it.
right, fair enough.
Well,
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is funny that you won't put on, but like we have a thing called the. So if you don't make a birdie in qualifying, you have to. It happens every once in a while, and then we have, if you go to a tournament and you have a bogey-free round, you can.
So I guess we'll ask you the same question we asked Alex. Any team traditions that you can tell us?
Alex said a good one.
Give me your best van story. I know everybody in college golf has at least one that they can tell.
Anything like good or bad? Like you guys got stuck somewhere? You guys, maybe your favorite trip?
You can't talk about it. Nothing.
God.
I wish I could.
Oh, fair enough.
Best fan story? By far. I got two. My freshman year, we had a bunch of seniors and everything, and I'll never forget it. We won the tournament, and coach was ecstatic, of course, and we actually had the individual winner and team winner, and that was one of the best bus rides from Atlanta back, and everybody was just hyped up, and we had like 4 guys in the back seat. It was me, Alex, CJ. Well, put all the freshmen in the back, and so we were all back there, and it was just awesome. And then this year
We had an awesome dance battle after we won the Jerry Pate at Old Overton in Birmingham.
Boogie got on the Bluetooth system and started playing Motley Crue.
JM was going hard, and
Ryan started playing the air guitar, just ripping it.
I mean, like it gets pretty dicey. Like as we're going around corners, you're like hitting speed bumps because like guys are falling on the seats. But that was one where it was like an hour and a half drive, and we just like ripped it the whole way back, just hardcore. So that's awesome. That was a fun moment for sure.
Are you driving the van?
So we've only driven once, and oh no, I guess we drove to Atlanta. He drove there, I drove back. But he doesn't like to drive. Let's just get it out in the open. He hates driving that damn thing. So do I.
Who's in charge, team-wise? Who's running the music? Who's running the show?
Alex Vogelsong. Yeah, he's running the music for sure. When we got back from Arizona in August, we got back at we flew back from Arizona to Atlanta, got into Atlanta at like 11:45, maybe even midnight. Drove back, dropped coach off. It was like 1:30 or 2.
As soon as the door closes, like they pair their phone, and it's just like volume to the max.
Alex just pulled out the rap and just got it going. I mean, it was like 2 a.m., so Chris is driving. And
they were bumping in that van. It was like, Jesus, they went from like 0 to 100 like that as soon as the boss man left. It was like a party bus rolling through downtown Auburn. They rolled the windows down.
Chris, he was like, I love how the energy just went from 0 to 100 in about 10 seconds.
Once
Alex
the chief hopped off
or something, and we got after it.
Your favorite social activity to do here at Auburn? Is it football games? Is it just the nightlife downtown?
Football games.
Football games for
no
sure.
doubt. Tailgating, football games. That's
big
the most
draw.
fun thing.
Fall's great because of football.
Yeah.
Basketball's getting really good, so basketball. The Saturdays, like this Saturday's gonna be awesome. Night game, so tailgate and just hang out, and football's really fun.
Yeah, I mean it's a great town. It has a really southern small town feeling. There's a bunch of good restaurants and bars and just little shops and stuff. So I didn't really know what to expect, but it's turned out to be a great fit for me.
If you see somebody walking downtown, you say War Eagle, they'll say War Eagle back, and you don't get that anywhere else.
My favorite part about living here is the people. I've always believed you can go to the nicest facilities in the world, but if you don't have the right people, it doesn't matter. But just the community, how it embraces sports, the passion, the alumni base. You'll see it Saturday night, coming back, big game, it'll be packed house. It's just a really cool atmosphere downtown.
Put it into one sentence. What made you come to Auburn?
One sentence. It's a hard one.
I'd say the family atmosphere.
Family atmosphere.
It's about the passion and the tradition, because we are one family.
We all like to do the same thing. We all play golf kind of in the same way. It was just pretty much a perfect fit for me.
When I came here, I really thought I would enjoy it as a student, and then I looked at our facilities and the different courses that we get to play and all the connections that Clinard has, and I was just like, this place is going to put me on the PGA Tour.
Auburn has a beautiful campus, a great town, and world-class facilities. But the culture created here by the people who run it make this perhaps the best place in the country to spend 4 years preparing to be on the PGA Tour.
We think so.